understand, if you're working out in the gym, don't use a Smith machine. It's not necessary. You're going to feel better on a leg press machine, and there's two reasons for this. The leg press machine keeps you on an angle. This takes a lot of pressure off your back. Secondly, because it takes a lot of pressure off your back, you can do heavier weights. If you're at home and all you have is a Smith machine available, you're going to have to gradually increase and pay attention to your back. You cannot really hit PRs on a Smith machine when it comes to leg presses because your back will give in before your legs. So, how to get into position? Pretty simple, straightforward. You want to lay down. The bar should mostly be it should be lined up to your stomach. If you're too far in and your legs are all the way up here, this is completely putting the pressure on your back for every increase. There's also very little range of motion. As you can see, my legs have nowhere to go. If you're too high up, this is also putting a lot of pressure on your upper body rather than your legs. So it's very important that this bar comes to your midsection. Once you bring your feet up, you can kind of adjust. We're going to do a wide stance first. When you lift your legs, make sure to never lock them. If you lock, not only is it going to hurt you, but it takes the tension off your quads, making each rep as though it's a new set. So keep them a little bent, come down and up, down and up. If you go too low, this is where your back starts to hurt. You're going to feel it, it's going to feel wrong. When you have to push up, it's your lower back that's helping you. That's wrong. You don't want to make little movements, and you don't want to make very wide movements. This is a good range of motion. Alright, so now I'm going to show you a narrow stance. And the reason why you want to do the narrow stance is to target other muscles. When you're far apart here, as you push up, your quads are fully getting engaged. However, to get that little teardrop and develop the muscles in your front quads, also engage your hammies and glutes. You'll feel the stretch. Every time you go down in your hammies, you'll feel the burnout. Gym and using a leg press machine, a couple things you want to look out for. One is get to know the machine first. Before you put weights on it, go ahead and play with it, lock it, unlock it, so you can get used to the motion. A second thing you want to do, always make sure your back is flat. Never arch it, don't try to do any fancy thing, keep it flat. A lot of times they tell you to keep your hands on the handles at all times. This not only ensures that you can lock it whenever you get desperate, but you can push against it and keep your back nice and flat. Arching is very, very bad. Another thing, when you are using a leg press machine, it is very important that when you push the weight, you use your heels. You don't use the ball of your foot. At home, we're using the ball of our foot. But in the gym, you want to go ahead and use the heel. Always, and this applies to everything, even squats, you always push through your heels. Now, another thing you want to pay attention to is if your knees buckle. I'm going to get back into position so I can show you what this looks like. This will not affect everyone, but some people will have a tendency of bringing in their knees. This can really harm you. So if you have this issue, try with every set, every rep you do, focus on keeping your legs far apart and doing the rhythm. If you cannot, it is important that you lower the weight till this does not happen anymore. You don't want to do this. Your feet, your legs should stay straight. Lunges are a very important routine because it works each leg independently. And what this helps with is muscle imbalances. We all have them. One leg might be more built stronger, one glute might be built stronger due to daily habits. A beginner's motion would be a step back lunge. Now the reason for this is because it requires less balance. Once you get down, you do one. You can almost rest your knee a little bit. Make sure not to bang your knee. If it's padded, just rest your knee. When you come back up, this motion allows you to rebalance yourself. You go back down, and once you feel ready, you come back up. Now, if you're a little bit more advanced, It is really good to implement walking lunges, and the reason for this is it engages way more muscles. So when you go down, when you have to push back up, you're engaging this leg to push back up and get your next one down. During this time, your core is stabilizing you. So you're engaging your core, keeping you stable. Now another thing, you want to make sure your steps are not too small. This is bad. This doesn't even feel right away. As you can see, my knee is going way past my toes. There's no stretch here, so I'm not actually engaging anything. That is very bad. If you go way too far out, you can really hurt yourself. So this is also not appropriate. You're gonna feel it when you just can't get back up. You can pull your groin here, so make sure that your steps are a healthy amount. When you're down, as you see, your knee doesn't pass your toe, straight and straight down. There's no need for this leg to be all the way back there. So straight and straight. Leg curls. If you're in the gym, you might see a different machine. Some are laying down that looks somewhat similar to this, not exactly this, but they will have you laying down. And you'll see a couple plates on the side. Some are standing, where you can work each leg independently for your leg curls. It's pretty basic. I'm going to show you quickly what you're trying to engage when you do leg curls. Now, it's not the whole movement that's important, so you don't have to go all the way down. You're relaxing when your legs are all the way down here. As you'll see, my hammies, this is the range of motion, right? You don't have to go all the way down and rest. Leg extensions. They're pretty basic, simple movement. The only real thing you need to do is when you go to a leg extension machine is adjust the seat. As you'll see, if the person before you is very tall, the seat will be further back. And then if you are sitting on a further back seat and your leg is like this, because it's pushing against it, you're not going to get the range of motion very well. You got to make sure that seat is down so that your knee bends appropriately. Same thing if you're a little too far out like this, it's not going to feel right. See how I can't even lift all the way up? So where the chair ends, just as you would sit normal on a chair, that's how you want it to be for you. So don't be all the way here and don't be here where you're limited mobility. You want your knee to be able to perform properly. So just get that chair comfortable and make sure you're staying in your rep range, not too many, 8 to 10. Your first couple sets, and then till burnout, your last sets, just like the formula states. Now calf raises, you can either do them seated or standing. I'll show you the seated way. If you have any toe issues where you have toe pain, I have figured out after a very long trial error period, that sitting down is the best thing for calf raises. When you put a plate on you, the more forward it is, the harder it's going to be. If you have the plate all the way tucked in here, you're not really feeling any weight on your calves. So you want to move that weight right on your knees and go ahead and perform it. You want to make sure you go all the way down and all the way up. Now if you want to do them standing, you can hold 2 dumbbells, 2 plates, whatever you want. Stand on top of your plate, and the reason for this is it gives you better range of motion. When you're down here, you don't have very much to go. Now for the gym, you can just use the calf machine, or you can even use a barbell. So play with it. Calves are pretty straightforward. The idea is to get that range of motion and add a little bit of weight to it. Bridge workout, also known as pelvic raises and hip thrusts. This one's really great for the booty. If you're in the gym, make sure you find a bench that is planted into the ground. This is very important. If you don't have those type of benches, I'll show you another way to do it safe way. If the bench is not planted, you're gonna fall over. It's gonna be a disaster. So once you get the bar, you roll it on. Once you get the bar there, you bring your legs up. You push against this bench. This is why it's important for it to be planted. You push against it to lift yourself. Now, a couple key factors here. One, make sure not to overarch. Okay, there's no need to do that. Chin should always be tucked. When you go down, as you come up, you squeeze those glutes. Right, down, squeeze. Squeeze. Now, say you're not feeling it in your glutes at all, you only feel it in your legs. This is foot placement. You gotta start playing with the foot placement. You either move your legs further out or more in. Another way you can do it is using this half moon ball. It's a Bosu ball. You just slide that bar right on. Make sure it's just your upper back on that ball. Now with this one, unlike the other one, you can do an overarch. And the reason for this is because of the angle. So when you do that overarch, you engage the glutes even more. So keep your neck tucked in, overarch, squeeze. Again, leg placement is also a big factor. If for any reason you're not feeling it in your glutes and you're feeling it in quads or hammies, make sure you play around with the legs. Further out you have them. This isn't your glutes, this is your hammies right here doing all the work for you. So adjust until you feel the glutes.